Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So we're here to talk about what Marvel is currently doing to change things and how it's interpreted by the industry at large. Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood Reporter did a pretty big expose on Marvel in general, and it's actually trying to prop them up. So indulge me a little bit with this because I think you guys will find this interesting. And it's also to discuss Jonathan Majors and Kang and the fact that they're definitely going away from Kang as a character. But it's also to explain that they never should have gone there to begin with, because they did that on a whim. They did that quite simply because of how he appeared in Loki, which was really, really dumb. Like, why would you do that? I would just make a decision based on a show that barely anyone actually had watched, by comparison to the movies. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. But I think what you guys will find very entertaining about this, at least interesting anyway, if you will so indulge me, is that the Hollywood Reporter is part of this machine that feeds into Marvel. Marvel feeds Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood Reporter feeds Marvel. It's this sort of cyclical event. And this is all mainstream media as well, quite frankly, because they require the box office to be successful so they can make articles about it. And when things are bad, they seldom trample on those that are down. They try to lift them up, not through any sort of benevolent act, but it's so they can then profit off them in future. And this is kind of what they're doing here. So like I said, I thought you'd find this interesting. And actually, you get that pretty much straight away in this article, just from the headline. The studio's golden box office aura has been dented. Yes. And thus, the Hollywood Reporter's traffic has been dented. Kevin Feige isn't scrapping his year's cinematic universe plan, just refining it. They're not going to give up, an insider says. So let's take a look, right? Let's see what they say. And we'll sort of comment sporadically through this. So they say, just over a year ago, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was set to take Marvel Studios to the next level. A new villain was going to be introduced, setting the stage for several years' worth of storytelling. The movie itself was a giant sizing of a franchise that was previously modest in scope. Instead, the Peyton Reed-directed movie heralded a year's worth of missteps. Box office blunders and PR nightmares. It was all uncharted territory for Marvel, which had steadily been generating box office gold for 15 years. Not strictly true, actually, because if you think about the profit and loss that Marvel has suffered, it's not that good. They haven't, they've spent a lot of money to get that money that kind of cancels itself out at a certain point. But the Disney division is in the midst of a pretty darn good February, all things considered. Despite the general gloom that surrounds the superhero genre as of late, the Super Bowl trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine became the most watched trailer of all time, with 365 million views in 24 hours. Yes, Disney's math includes the 123 million people who tuned in for the game. Yeah, but they're forced to watch it, you idiots. Which included just 30 seconds of the trailer. But Super Bowl fudging or not, the clip's reach was an encouraging number for a studio whose last movie, The Marvels, became the lowest grossing ever. And lost a lot of money. But anyway, let's take a look. So, Valentine's Day, they revealed that we're getting Fantastic Four. That's fine. Who cares? I don't really think anyone cares that much, quite frankly. But then they say this a day later. Marvel launched the trailer for X-Men 97, a revival of the 90s cartoon, which debuts in March. That's an internal Disney record, apparently, as the biggest launch for an animated series on Disney+. Interesting. But here's the interesting stuff. So these public-facing moves comes as studio boss Kevin Feige recalibrates the creative direction behind the scenes. Early in February, the company completed reshoots for Agatha Darkhold Diaries. So there's a major red flag straight away. Agatha, a series which has had so many bloody titles. It's had like 4 titles now, and now it's just called Agatha All Along or something like that. It's just, I don't even know what it's called. Just Agatha, I think it's called. Not even Darkhold Diaries anymore. You've only just finished now? Really? That's bad. That's not good. The company usually budgets 5 days of reshoots into the schedule, but the studio completed the work in just 1, fueling a sunny outlook around the show internally. Disagree, because how long has it taken to get to that point? The studio quietly hired Eric Pearson to polish the script for Fantastic Four. So this is them rushing behind the scenes to fix everything. So you've hired another writer for another script. Why? They should not need that many script writers, but that's also not a good thing. So the person they hired, Eric Pearson, to do work on Fantastic Four, also worked on Thor Ragnarok and Black Widow. There you go, cool. So probably nothing that you're going to be excited about. Let's get real here. Then we got this. So Marvel also hired Joanna Callow, the showrunner of The Bear, to work on the script for Thunderbolts, and The Hollywood Reporter learned that. So that's another movie that was said to be filming right now, actually, because Florence Pugh stated that once they're done with the June Part 2 stuff, they're going straight to film Thunderbolts. So you still haven't finished the script. That's really bad news. It even says, you know, the film will begin shooting in March in Atlanta. That's not good. We're February, you're filming in March, and the script still isn't done. But look at how much they run cover for Marvel. Marvel is also cleaning up the creative mess left in the wake of Jonathan Majors. So here's the interesting stuff. Well, it's all interesting, quite frankly. The once rising actor cast to play the linchpin villain role in the next Avengers movie, but who in December was found guilty of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and harassment in a Manhattan court after a domestic incident with his ex-partner, a movement coach he met while working on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Marvel dropped Majors hours after the conviction and is rewriting those movies. So what's going on? They're completely cutting it, reshaping the whole MCU now, which will now either minimise the character or excise him entirely. The first of the new Avengers movies, due out in 2026, was initially titled Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, but will be getting a new title to remove the character's name. Though sources say that even before Majors' conviction, the studio was making moves to minimise the character after Quantumania underperformed, grossing $476 million. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. They also, you know, expose Marvel in general about their lack of organisational skills. On the TV side, Marvel has been reorganising its operations to allow for greater control from showrunners, a move made after the critical failure of Secret Invasion. Well, yeah. That's awful. You should have a showrunner doing it anyway. It says, and then this, so the focus is internal this year, says one insider, of all the tinkering going on behind the scenes. And look at the cope. Executives are not calling it a reboot, not even a soft one, but more of a creative retooling. It's no secret that since the 2019 Avengers Endgame, the company was asked to scale up in an unprecedented way to feed its fledgling streaming service, Disney+. Then a top priority for Disney, which was in the thick of the streaming wars, first under the direction of Bob Iger, then Bob Chapek, now Bob Iger again. Marvel expanded into TV, blah blah blah, and bombed. Some of our studio lost a little focus. So the first step is that we're going to reduce volume. And they're going to use the strikes. I said this before in another video, but it's true. But look how everything points to epic failures behind the scenes. So Captain America: New World Order, that's been delayed. Huge reshoots. Huge reshoots. Huge reshoots. Blade, going to be delayed. Of course. Dual writers and actors strike. This is how they're going to do it. It gave Marvel the breathing space as it was able to reschedule its movies. Yeah. But that's not a good thing. Well, I mean, it's good that they're rescheduling them, but you're not going to get anything good out of it. And they even say this, right? Other movies remain in the script stage. What ones? Because you've got movies filming next month that are still in a script stage. I mean, it's bullshit. It just is. It's nonsense. They're not going to give up, says a source. They want to make something great. Fire everyone then. And they need to give. This is Disney's go-to. Look at this. There's it is all designed to give creatives some breathing room and give audiences the chance to miss the MCU just a little bit. That's Disney's go-to. It was the same with Star Wars, by the way. So when they released too many Star Wars films, they were like, "Oh, we released too many. We need to just like not do any for a while, and then people will love us again." No, nutsucker, right? People don't like what you're making, so there's no excitement. It doesn't matter how long you take between movies. It doesn't work. Do you see why I thought you'd find this interesting, just going through it bit by bit? I found this wholly entertaining. So there you go. What do you think? Leave your thoughts. Take care. Bye-bye now.